The
You
Velorian
dare stand
Empire
before
did
me,
not
human?
welcome humans.
I don't
It
just
tolerated
stand
them.
before you, Your
The way a
Highness Tilly.
storm
I
tolerates a
stay.
leaf caught in its wind, briefly, violently, and without mercy. Humans were permitted on Veloria, 9 strictly for trade negotiations, escorted in silence, eyes down, words measured. To look directly at the Queen was considered an act of war. To speak without being spoken to was punishable by exile. And to touch her, well, no one had ever been foolish enough to try. No one, until Kael Draven walked through her throne room doors. He was not supposed to be there. The delegation had been dismissed hours ago. The corridors had gone dark, the guards rotated to the outer rings, and the great obsidian hall had fallen into the kind of silence that only exists on alien worlds, thick, breathing, alive. Kael had stayed behind on purpose. He had a message. Not the kind delivered in sealed diplomatic pouches or encrypted data slates. The kind that needed to be spoken aloud, face to face, without an audience. Queen Sylara stood at the far end of the hall, her back to the entrance, gazing through the massive circular viewport at the gas giant that dominated Veloria 9's sky. She wore her armor even now, violet and gold, fitted like a second skin, glowing faintly with the bioluminescent markings that ran along her arms and shoulders. Her platinum hair fell loose tonight, which meant she had believed herself alone. She had been wrong. You were dismissed, human. Her voice did not rise. It did not need to. It filled the chamber the way thunder fills a valley, from every direction at once. Inevitable. Kael agreed, stepping forward. His boots echoed against the black stone floor. I came back. She turned slowly. Queen Sylara's eyes, when they met his, were the color of deep water, blue at the center, burning violet at the edges, with pupils that dilated like a predator assessing prey. She looked at him the way someone looks at a thing that should not exist. Curious. Dangerous. That is a considerable mistake, she said. I've made worse. Something shifted in her expression, not softening, not quite. More like the moment before a blade is drawn, when the hand has decided but the arm has not yet moved. She descended the steps from the raised platform slowly, deliberately, each movement carrying the weight of someone who had never once questioned their own power. She stopped 3 feet from him. You have something to say. It was not a question. Your council is lying to you, Kael said. The trade agreement they presented today, the resource clauses in Section 9, they're siphoning Velorian mineral rights to a private consortium. Not to your empire. To 12 individuals who've been buying silence for 3 years. The air between them changed. Sylara's eyes narrowed. You have proof of this? I have everything. He reached slowly into his jacket, deliberately slow, so she could see his hands, and produced a slim data chip. Names, transactions, communications. All of it. She stared at the chip, then at him. Then she did something he did not expect. She laughed. Not cruelly. Almost genuinely, the way someone laughs when they realize they've underestimated a situation entirely. A human, she said quietly, walks into my throne room, alone, in the dark, to give me intelligence my own advisors have buried. She tilted her head. Why? Because the consortium wants war between our people, Kael said. And I don't. How noble. She reached for the chip, and in that same motion, her other hand moved toward the pulse blade at her hip.
Fast. Trained. Perfect.
But Kael was faster. His hand caught her wrist. The entire universe seemed to stop. No one touched the queen. No one. The shock of it registered on her face before the fury did. A half-second of pure, raw disbelief. Her eyes went wide. Her breath caught. And then the fury came, blazing, volcanic, the kind of rage that had ended civilizations. Release me, she whispered. before I end your entire species. You are reaching for a weapon, he said calmly. He did not let go. I am always reaching for a weapon. I am the queen. You're also about to be betrayed by the people closest to you, he said. And the only person in this room trying to stop that is me. The pulse blade had not cleared its sheath. Her wrist remained in his grip, not crushed, not forced, just held. And slowly, in the silence that followed, something extraordinary happened. The tension in her arm did not disappear, but it changed. It became something else. Something she did not have a name for, because no one had ever made her feel it. Held, not captured, not overpowered. Held. Her eyes searched his face, looking for the lie, the manipulation, the angle. She found none. Only steadiness. Only a man who had walked into a queen's fortress alone. In the dark, not to conquer her, but to warn her. She looked down at his hand around her wrist. If you release me, she said quietly, I will not have you killed. That's the most romantic thing anyone's ever said to me, Kael replied. The ghost of something, almost a smile, crossed her face. She stepped back. He let go. She took the data chip from his open palm without another word, turned back toward the viewport, and stood in silence for a long moment, staring out at the great burning planet below. You will leave Veloria 9 by morning, she said finally. For your safety. Understood. And Kael Draven. She did not turn around. I will remember your name. He walked back toward the dark corridor, the sound of his boots fading slowly into the silence of the great obsidian hall. Behind him, for the first time in her reign, Queen Sylara smiled at someone's back.